So welcome everybody.
Welcome indeed. And yes, did you say last time we were live you had fallen and hit your chin and you had a massive big bruise that came up, but with using the products was amazing healing.
It was incredible. So looking forward to jumping into talking about the True Science beauty range of skincare and personal care.
Yes.
So Vicky, let's tell us a little bit about you and why you got into doing business with LifeVantage.
Sure. So I had heard about NRF2 activation sort of over my experience or my background is as an anti-aging, a natural anti-aging beauty therapist, a holistic beauty therapist. And so because I work very integratively, if you like, I knew that there was this technology around, but I hadn't found anything that I really loved. And when I actually got given some of the skincare to use, and I was like, no, you know what? I've tried lots of different skincare. This is not going to be any different. So as you can imagine, over 30 years of having my own business in beauty, you get given lots of stuff. So quite often I don't even try things, but I did. And it was amazing. My skin actually went dry initially. And I thought, hang on, this is changing my skin. So that's actually the first thing that I noticed. And I thought, why is it doing that? It must be correcting imbalances. So at the time, it was 2 years ago almost. And so I was 53. And so I thought, you know what, that would make sense from knowing how the skin works. And then in another 2-week time frame, it went to glowing again. So it just kind of by going dry for me was a big changer because it made me stand up and go, oh, I really need to take notice of this. So I had already started taking the Protandim, which I think if you've caught up with any of the other interviews that have been on earlier in the day, they've all been fantastic. And the first couple were on Protandim NRF2. So I was on that and knew the science behind it. So I thought if the skincare is anything to do with as amazing as the Protandim, then I'm all in. This could really change the way that skincare moves forward for the future.
And I get you with the skepticism because there are so many different products out there and everybody's jumping up and down and saying, we're the best, we're the best. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an integrative nutrition health coach. My focus is on hormones. And it was actually Vicky who said, hey, hun, you need to have a look at these. And I took one look at the products, especially the probiotic, which I think is being talked about next, so don't miss it. I took one look at what was in the probiotic and went, oh yeah, baby, I need some of this. It's amazing. Since then, the skincare, I had a similar result to Vicky. She knows full well that I was a bit stuck on my old range because I just loved it. I've been using it for a few years and loved it. And this was very different, this range, to what I had been using. And initially, when I first tried it, my skin did go very dry. And so I did this is not working, it's useless. And I went back to the old range. Thankfully, as things have it, I ran out of the old range and I couldn't get any more of it for whatever reason. So I thought, okay, I'm going to give the beauty system a proper going over this time and give my skin a chance. It was only about a week it took for it to settle, and Vicky will attest to this. We were sitting having a Zoom conversation and I was like, oh my God, my skin, I can't believe it's just changed. It now feels dry. It feels supple and, it feels hydrated and sort of poofy.
Well, I remember that day because I looked at it and I was going, oh my goodness, what are you doing with your skin? I was thinking that in my head going, it looks amazing.
Thank you. And we have, when it comes on the market here, the True Science mask, which
yes.
I used this morning. And we have another product. So what we'll do, we could sit here and chat for ages, but we've got a few little slides to show you, to take you through the range, because I'm going to be talking about the hair care, which is totally next level. I mean, I washed my hair this morning. Look at this, no frizz, styles easily. Anyway, so we've got a few little slides. We're going to be asking you a question at the end, because what have we got on offer here, Vicky?
We are going to give away some amazing skincare. So if you like what you are hearing and listening to and you want to win some, then keep listening right to the end, because at the end we are going to give away skincare and I think hair care. So perhaps we're taking 2 winners.
We've just got the skincare, but you are going to win the whole range, not just one product, but the whole range of skincare. So stay tuned. We'll ask you a question. So hopefully I will get, yes, we go. Here we go. Beautiful. Technology. So welcome.
Great. Now I can see.
Welcome to the True Science range.
Now, one of the things, again, being a beauty therapist, I am super uber particular about what I put on my skin, because what you put on your skin goes through your skin and into your body. And so it actually impacts the health of your body and all the functioning over time. So it's not going to happen tomorrow, but 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And that's why sometimes we get to 40 or 50 and we go, oh, so sometimes it's things that we've used in the past. The good news is you can correct it. So what I love about this range, being inside and outside, so inside is the Pro Tandem, outside is the True Science, is that you're addressing a lot of what I call irritations or stress. So that first point that I've got there provides protection against environmental assaults. So the skin is external. So what we see is actually just what's being attacked by the outside, our sun and wind and heat and cold, and the fire on and the heating. So that's what damages the skin over time. So that's what gives you lines and wrinkles and pigmentation and those age spots that you see, and breakdown of crisscross of lines and fine lines around your lips. Everything you don't like about your skin, sagging, comes from both external. So that is all that environmental stuff, but then also internal. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. That's you'll know that as your collagen base, or that's what makes your skin firm and supple and helps with that. As you turn 40 plus, you usually get a bit of slackening here, which the True Science helps fight against. So let's work on these first things that come to us initially, and that's that environmental stuff. How does it do that without getting too tech? Is with this NRF2 activation. So can I just say, all the ingredients are natural, and as Sharon can attest, because she's a hormone expert with her coaching that she does, everything that you're putting on your skin goes in, and then if you've got toxicity within a range, your skincare range, it does impact your hormones. So Sharon, can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I think one of the things that we don't really think about when we're using our skincare, and indeed our hair care, our personal care, whatever we're putting on our skin, we don't think about the fact that the ingredients can actually impact our mitochondria.
Which is our little battery packs, isn't it?
Exactly. So exactly, our energy. It can also impact our adrenal glands as well, which they respond to chemical stresses. So our adrenal glands are there as a natural stress response to protect the body. The trouble is that, especially nowadays, there's so much psychological stress going on. We've got environmental stresses of pollution and whatever else. We've got personal stresses, but also chemical stresses. And if we can use a range, or in our personal care, the products that have virtually no toxicity in them, our adrenal glands, our body, our liver especially, can get on with doing what it's meant to do. And that is keep us youthful and running on the inside.
Yeah. And so something interesting that you just said then was, about the energy and the mitochondria. So if our body is using lots of products with toxins in them, it actually makes us quite tired. And so quite often, I hear in my clinic, and I don't know about you, Sharon, is that most women come into me and they lie down on the bed and they go, oh, that's because we're all exhausted. We're juggling balls and all that type of thing. So if we can cut the load, not even from a health perspective, but just from an energy perspective, as in we will have more energy. It sounds a bit weird, but it's related.
It is related. And you know, if I come back to the liver, which is one of our major detox organs, as is your skin is one of the pathways of elimination for your body. But when your liver becomes overloaded with a lot of, well, let's be honest here, we're in lockdown again.
We've got wine and
exactly. So we're probably
coffee.
Drinking a little bit more than we might be having a little bit more caffeine than we would normally. We may be reaching for the snacks and the nibbles and the bickies that we wouldn't normally consume. All of these things are adding in liver loaders. So if we've got these chemicals in our personal care products that are adding to our liver congestion, what may then happen is your liver will prioritize the chemical, it'll kind of triage the chemicals, put them first. But things like your estrogen and your cholesterol, which it knows about, it'll kind of go, no, I already know about these, and it kind of flips them back into the system again. So if you're struggling with estrogen dominance, have a look at what's going on with your liver.
Yeah.
Again, for me, that's okay. What sort of products are you using? So let's have a look at some of the amazing results that people are getting with using these products.
And this is one of the reasons why I became a beauty therapist many years ago, was if you look at that lady on, I think that's going to be on your left. So she's got pigmentation. She's obviously had a bit of acne, and quite often this is our internal stress that we talked about, the skin's inside and out. So in that dermal layer or a collagen layer, we can sometimes have stresses which are more emotional, and they can create acne, rosacea, a whole lot of other conditions, psoriasis, eczema, all these things. So if you look at the picture, that's actually a year. So this is not a quick fix. This is committed use of skincare, and it's just 4 simple steps. She's gone from having the marks on her skin on that left-hand side to a much clearer, glowing, clearer skin. And I'm telling you now, if you can imagine the confidence that she has now compared to a year ago. And in the big scheme of things, what's 12 months? 12 months looking, you know, and not feeling great is a long time. Now she can experience, you know, that side of things. And then again, the pigmentation, as you get older, that pigmentation from sun and internal stresses comes up. So you can see the lady on the right has got a lot of those dark marks across her nose, and you can get that around the sides of your face, and a lot more sun damage through here. So that happens over time, and it's usually, from a beauty therapy perspective, it's one of the hardest things to move because it's built up over such a long period of time. The true science in skincare within, and everyone is different, but usually if you go, I'll give it a 12-month plan of using it and be committed, you will see big changes before then, but at least in the 12 months, and I usually say take a picture from Christmas to Christmas and you can see the difference, and it's obvious to your friends, then this is how you can look, that pigmentation can really fade. And it, with that NRF2 activation, because it's flipping on the switches so that your cells, your skin cells, actually produce way more antioxidants than you can have in your regular skincare, like other brands, then you're actually buffering and neutralizing a whole lot of damage as it's coming in. So that's why the pigmentation can move out much, much quicker.
But also, look at the lines around her eyes. I mean, that's the eye cream in the True Science range is the bomb. I love it. And I love the fact that I can use it on my upper lids as well. And it lifts. So as we get older, and I mean, Vicky knows this way better than I do, but our skin kind of relaxes and gets a bit more saggy. I've certainly noticed that those little folds above my eyes are lifting.
Yes. Actually, I had really bad, I used to get loads of eczema in my 30s and 40s. I think it was just having kids and stress and being busy. And once I started using I had heard actually that the True Science Eye Serum was really good for those upper lids. And I trialed it because I've got one lid, not as, one's more droopy than the other because I used to get eczema on one side. I don't get eczema anymore, but it's very droopy and it's really firmed. Like you can definitely see, I took pictures. So I am super happy about that.
So Vicky, in your experience as a beauty therapist, a lot of people I know will say to me, oh, but what I'm using is natural and it's organic and it's hypoallergenic. And my understanding is that these terms, there's no regulation really on these terms when marketers use them.
Well, it's actually funny that over the last 5 years, the use of the word natural or organic means that it's presumed or marketed as if it's good. And while you can have good ingredients, it doesn't necessarily mean it's anti-aging. So it's not buffering or slowing down, premature aging, which is the speeding up. So we're all going to age, but we want to age in the time frame that we are going to, not in a speeded up fashion. So exactly. With natural products, what I find is if they're not in an anti-aging formula, so we have the NRF2 as our formulation, it helps deliver the goodies down to the deeper part of our skin where your skin cells actually renew. So that's where we need to be feeding it, all those goodies. So it needs to take it down, and then it also needs to do something. So those natural ingredients, otherwise, if they're not got an anti-aging technology in them, sit on the top. So you might put a product on and then you go, oh, it feels like it must be protecting my skin because it's sitting on the surface. It's not actually going in. So it might be stopping it from wind, and that's probably better, probably not from sun, but wind. But it's not actually feeding where your skin is being made, if you like. So it's not
getting
actually
down to where you need it.
Yeah. It's not fixing, it's not repairing, it's not giving the cells the energy to do the work.
Amazing. So Vicky, I know you incorporate these amazing products into your beauty salon when you're able to open it. So what has it meant to you to have this business as part of your beauty therapy salon since we've been in lockdown?
Well, Sharon and I are both, for the listeners who are not aware, we're both in Melbourne. So last year and this year's obviously drastically impacted my business. So I've been open and shut. In fact, I've been shut more than I've been open, if you look at a 2-year period. So I've not been able to do services. However, having this business has meant that, one, from a personal level, I can still be really hooked into the anti-aging, which I love, the technology, being able to help people and spread the word. And then financially, obviously too, it has been a lifesaver. So it has certainly given me some stability and that residual income for long term, which was one of the reasons why I started it in the first place, to have long-term residual income coming in has certainly given me an opportunity to really kick in.
And I think people may have heard, if they tuned into any of the chats or the lives that have been on before us, how it's helped a lot of people through this extremely difficult time. Well, let's move on to the hair care.
Yes, and I know, Sharon, you were the one that convinced me to try the hair care after all that. So you're a great lover of the hair care. And let me just show you, before you share your story, look at the size of the hair care, shampoo and conditioner. They are massive.
They are. It is. So where do I start? I have never really been a girly girl, and doing my hair is kind of meh. It's one of those things. Normally I'll have it tied up and out of the way, and I haven't really thought about the products that I've used. But since being introduced to this business and these products and finding the hair care system, I am a devotee now of this range. It is a range that can help so many different types of hair, whether you've got thick hair like me, and certainly in lockdown, because we couldn't get to the hairdresser.
We couldn't get to the hairdresser.
No, last year, but my hair came to halfway down my back by the end. And when he came to cut it, he was like, my God, your hair is in such great condition. I ended up having to color it myself, bit of a disaster, but this range is beautiful, is so gentle on colored hair, as it says there, whether it's colored or chemically treated. This is a beautiful range. It has peptides in it from azalea flowers, which help with, bringing in that thicker, fuller hair. It supports that beautiful hair, healthy hair growth. It has lanitalis in it, which comes from chamomile and green tea. And it has something called this is it. It's calming on the scalp, and it soothes and protects. And it also has apiscalp, which is comes from a celery. You can tell I'm excited, I'm talking fast. Celery seed extract, which helps to moisturize your scalp, but more importantly, it helps the microflora. So we have the microbiome in our gut, but we also have a microbiome, a flora, in our skin. And quite often in our scalp, it can become irritated, dry, unhealthy. And this range helps with that. It is, I washed my hair this morning, right? No frizz. So normally my hair, it'll be, the ends would be all thin and it'd be hanging out. And it's just not there. And again, if I go back to, from a hormonal perspective, it is so gentle because there is nothing in there that is going to imbalance your endocrine system. So if you are struggling with your hormones, my advice would be look at the personal care products. Look at the things you're putting on your skin and in your hair.
And that's also too for women, and I know this came up in my 30s, not that for women who are not 40 plus, but say you're trying to have babies. So endocrine system's your hormones, and that's something that is heavily impacted by toxicity levels. So definitely, and your hair is one of the areas that gets rid of a lot of toxins out of your body. And that's why having that microbiome Sharon's mentioning is so important to keep everything in that balanced condition.
Now, the wonderful thing again about this range, you can see some of the testimonials here. This could almost be, I've got my door shut so he can't hear and he's never likely to see this, but that could be my husband and that could be me. And the difference, he's got very fine, thin hair, and he's started sort of losing it in that area. But the difference in his hair from using the shampoo and conditioner and, more importantly, the scalp serum has been incredible. And again, you can see the young lady there, how beautiful her hair is after a few washes. It doesn't take long for that healthiness to start coming back.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people sort of wonder, how can they find out more about what's in their products?
Yeah, and there's this great, amazing app, which I'd never heard about before. And being a beauty therapist, I was like, how come I had never heard of this? It's an independent app. It's called Think Dirty. It's a free app, and you can literally either scan the barcode of your current products in your bathroom cupboard, go do it now, or you can punch in the name and it gives your product a rating. So on the right there, you see the traffic light system, if you call it. So red means toxic, do not use. And if you have any of those in your bathroom cupboard, go chuck them in the bin right now.
Yeah.
7 to 4 is that orange, which is, some ingredients are a little toxic, but others aren't. So then prioritize. What do you love? What is a must have? And then just try to find replacements that are in the green, which is the 0 to 3.
And I think too, the thing to keep in mind is, whilst you may have a product that might have something in the, let's just say the 4 to 10 range, it's an accumulation of these products within your body that makes the difference. So you might have one that's not too bad, one that's kind of okay, and a few others. But if you're continuously using them, those levels of toxins are building up in your body. So shall we have a look and see how this range rates?
Let's check out where True Science sits. Oh, and voila, look at those green little boxes.
We are green across the board, and what an incredible rating. So I do encourage everybody to go and check out your bathroom cupboard.
Yes.
So we're going to wrap up here. I love this saying, and I've used it quite a few times. I will not let age change me. I'm going to change the way I age. And these products are certainly helping me do that.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to come up right now to, so the one thing I did want to mention about the way that you can impact the way you age is by going back and listening to some of the earlier interviews on Protandim, NAD, NRF1, Axio. They all, brain health, they're all impacting even the way that your skin is. So I mentioned earlier about NRF2, and also NRF1 works the same way because it's our energy for our skin, and so it actually helps with the firming as well. So we are going to ask our question. You've been hanging in there, so that you can win a lovely prize of, and maybe as you do the question, Sharon, we've got the cleanser, the serum, which is your toner, the eye serum, which is firming, and my anti-aging cream.
Anti-aging cream. Okay, so everybody, thank you so much for being here. We hope you have gained some value out of listening to us here. We've certainly had fun. The question is, what Think Dirty rating does the True Science range have?
Woohoo!
I know, right?
Yes.
So pop your answers down below. We will reach out to the lucky recipient and get your details. But until then, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Don't forget to check in with the rest of the interviews and presentations that are coming on. And if you want to know more or start using these products, then reach out to the person that brought you into the group.
Have a great day, guys.
Bye, everyone.